Fluffy charred sesame kulchas are the perfect accompaniment to any Indian meal. Making bread at home could not be easier. Let me show you how. Usually when you go to an Indian restaurant, at the top of the bread menu, you will find naan. But what you should try is kulcha, which is kind of like naan's younger, hipper cousin. It's light, it's fluffy, and instead of being leavened with yeast, it's leavened with baking powder, baking soda, or a combo of both like we're doing today. So let's get started by making the dough. We're gonna start off with our dry ingredients. So to this bowl, I'm going to add some flour, a little bit of baking powder, some baking soda, some sugar to sweeten, as well as salt. And we're gonna whisk that until it's well combined. For our wet ingredients, I have some milk that I've warmed up here, and I'm going to add a touch of ghee, which is gonna make it nice and rich, as well as some yogurt, and I'm gonna whisk that to combine. Now I'm going to take my wet ingredients and pour them into the dry ingredients, and we're going to slowly start to stir, starting from the middle and working our way outwards until a shaggy, soft ball of dough forms. Then I'm going to tip my dough onto the counter and knead it for 7 to 8 minutes until we get a nice, supple ball of dough. This ball of dough is going back in the same bowl. I'm going to rub it with a little bit of oil, cover it in plastic wrap, and let it rest for an hour. So our dough has rested. It's now elastic and soft and ready to be shaped into kulchas. So all I'm going to do is pinch off a bit of the dough, a little bit bigger than a golf ball, and dip it into a little more flour. Onto my countertop, I'm going to roll them out into round kulchas like this. So the inspiration for these kulchas are sesame seed bagels, which are personally my favorite. So all I'm going to do is take a few sesame seeds, sprinkle them over the top of the kulcha, as well as some fresh coriander. And here's a great tip: take your rolling pin and press those ingredients in. That helps them stick to the kulcha dough. Now I'm gonna flip my kulcha over and then wet the bottom, and you'll see exactly why in a second. We're gonna be making these kulchas on a gas stove. So I'm going to take the kulcha wet side down, press it into the hot pan, and within a minute to a minute and a half, it'll start to bubble up. Then, here's the secret. I'm going to flip the pan over and let the flames of the gas stove gently kiss the surface of the kulcha, browning and slightly charring it. Flip it over, and then it's ready. But say if you don't have a gas stove at home, no problem. Crank your oven up to 500 degrees, place a pizza stone in there, and let it get nice and hot. Place your kulcha wet side down onto the pizza stone and let it bubble and puff up for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then it's ready. Once your kulchas are ready, rub them with a generous amount of butter, and they're ready to serve. There is nothing better than the smell of freshly baked bread. These kulchas smell so good. I am tempted. Look at how beautiful. You see all of those bubbles that have charred up beautifully, those toasted sesame seeds, the coriander. Let's rip into one. Oh yeah, look at that texture. And now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to taste. Ready? Here goes. These kulchas are definitely giving the sesame bagel a run for its money. I love the texture. It's super chewy, slightly crisp, and the char on it is perfect. I love the toasted sesame seeds, and that little pop of green from the coriander is just perfect. Serve them just on their own with a little extra butter on the side for dipping, or with your favorite Indian meal, or heck, you know what I do? I slather it with cream cheese and eat it for breakfast in the morning. So versatile, so easy, so good. These are my sesame kulchas.